everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a tutorial on the Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe. I wanted to do sort of a fun little daytime sort of summer look, and so I used this color scheme over here. Sorry, I was like, what's the word for this? Yeah, so I used this over here. I want to say overall my thoughts on this palette are that I love it. I think it's great, but as you can see, the shadows have just, they're a little delicate, and they kind of, there's a little fallout on the brush, not necessarily an application when you pick them up, so just be gentle. Alright, so I hope you enjoy this tutorial, and I will see you in my next one. Okay, so first we're going to start off by priming our eyes with Mika Beauty Primer. It's a very sticky primer. It's a little thick and waxy, so that's why I'm patting it in so I can smooth it out so we can get a good base for our eyeshadows. And the first shadow I'm going in with is Silk Cream. And I'm just going to go back and forth a little bit above my crease to use as a transition color. I know that I was using a different brush before this black one, but that's because the yellow one actually happened to be dirty, and I was like, ooh, yikes. So I went in with this one. It's a Sonia Kashuk blending brush. And the next color I'm going in with is Buns. And I'm going to take this a little lower this time. We're just adding some more definition. And we're going back and forth after we deposit our color, and we are blending it in to Silk Cream on top. And I'm doing the same thing on the other side, depositing and going back and forth. I found I had a little bit of trouble blending, and I'm not sure if it was my primer. And the next shadow I'm going in with is Sissy. This is a brighter pink shadow shimmer, and I'm patting it in with one of my Delium brushes. It's a white flat top, not flat top, just a white, what do you call it? The blending brush? It's not a blending brush. It's just a regular eyeshadow brush. And we're packing on the color. And after we pack it on, we're going to go back and forth to blend it in with our transition colors on top. And I'm going back just to buff out maybe some harsh lines that came in while I was depositing Sissy. And we're smoothing it out. Now I'm going in with my Marc Jacobs gel black eyeliner. Since this is more of a summery look, I didn't want to do anything too distinct, which is why I didn't choose a cat eye. I just use this to line really close to my lash line for definition around the eye. And after I deposited this, I'm going in with my Sigma small blending brush, and I'm buffing it out. It's like a small definer brush, and this is what I use to buff out all of my eyeliner. I use this pretty much strictly for inner highlight and buffing out eyeliner. I think it's one of my favorite brushes. It's so dependable. And for the bottom lash, I'm going back in with Buns, and I am buffing out my lower lash line with the color, using the same brush. I use the same brush for all the definition around my eyes. Sometimes I'll use the blending brush that I was using before to blend out my transitions. But normally I just use this one. And I'm adding just a little more definition on my waterline. To make this look a little less harsh, you can go in with a brown eyeshadow, and that'll make it look less harsh. For my inner corner highlight, I'm going in with Obsessed, and I'm using that on my inner corner and under my brow bone. Again, using the same little definer brush. Just get right up in there, right under the brow. Not sure why my right eyebrow looks so dark, but I'm sure it's just the angle of everything. And I'm just packing it on under. Now I'm going in with my NARS mascara to define those lashes. I'm not going to be putting on falsies. It's just way too hot to be getting that done up in Vegas. And also, I don't generally like wearing false lashes on a day-to-day basis. I think it's just a little excessive. And I'm doing my lower lash line. Going in on the other side as well. Now I'm going in with my Estee Edit primer. This is a pore reducing primer. And I'm just going in most of my problem areas, my forehead, my cheeks, my chin, covering up some texture. And this will give us a nice base for our foundation. Before I go in with my foundation, I'm going to go in with IT Cosmetics concealer. It's supposed to be waterproof, and I am just doing some color correction because I have very, very dark circles, so I go in to neutralize them first with this, as well as some other darker features on my face. Because this concealer, it's in the shade Tan. It has sort of a peachy undertone, so that just helps neutralize the darker spots. Getting them on my cheeks, have a little discoloration in places, on my chin. And now I'm going in with my foundation. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get the close-ups of every product. My camera just kept overheating and dying. Like, the battery would die and then the camera would overheat, and it was just such a process. So I'm going in with my NARS foundation that I just always apply with fingers. It just warms up to the face faster than if you use a brush. Now, for concealing and highlighting, I'm going in with Urban Decay Naked in the shade 5.0. Actually, I don't remember the shade. I think I'm thinking of the foundation when I say 5.0. This is always my favorite part. So after I've blended it out with my fingers, I'm going into set with the RCMA setting powder using a Delium brush. Just a big, fluffy, pointed brush, so it can cover a lot of ground. I'm not going to be baking, just setting. As soon as I leave the house, I know no matter what I do, the makeup's just going to melt off anyway because it's summer in Vegas. Covering my problem areas, most likely to be oily, definitely my forehead. Now I'm going in with my NARS wet dry brush and using the NARS Stephen Klein Collection brush palette. I love this brush, it's my favorite. And first I'm going to stipple on the color and then blend it out. Stipple on the color and blend. It gives a nice natural blush application. It just makes it look like your face is warm and bright. It doesn't look like, oh, this is blush, which is why it's my favorite brush. That's why it's my favorite blush brush. Wow, there's a lot of tongue twisters in this. Oh man, I can't speak. Now we're going in with our Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop. And I'm using a Smashbox fan brush to apply this. Now, I don't generally like this brush. It's a little too light. It doesn't blend it out the way I like it, which is why I'm using my fingers to really get it into the skin. But it's all I have. Well, not anymore because I just bought a new one, but that's in a different video. I do a little highlight on the nose. I'm not doing any sort of serious contouring and everything because I'm not a believer that you need contouring for every occasion. Now I'm doing my brows. I'm going in with the Naked Basics palette and I am using powder. I know a lot of people like using dip brow, but I like a more natural finished look to my brows. And the powder just makes them more defined without going over the top. I'm using the second to darkest, oh, okay, I'm forgetting how to say this. I'm using a combination of the darkest shade and the second to darkest shade in order to create a nice natural texture. And you don't want your brows to be too dark or else it will look, they will look very harsh. I'm using a Basso makeup spoolie. Now I'm going in with Clinique Pure Honey, Pink Honey lipstick. It's what I'm using to define my lips. And after I fill those in, I'm going in with my Marc Jacobs. And so my lips look nice and pink and fun. Just a final once over. And that is our completed look. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.